All right, let's get started. I think I'm going to use this Sundance, and then here's a sheet of grape cardstock. And then this is one of the papers from Life's a Hoot. But I'm actually going to use the opposite side. I love this print, and this is going to work perfect with my daughter's pom-pom pictures. I'm also going to bring in some fun stamps and die sets. So I have this first one here. That is Candid Moments Scrapbooking. And then I also have this fun one of Loving Right Now. And then the Life's a Hoot card making. And then my all-time favorite, this is the tag die set. It's the tags and tabs thin cuts. And then, of course, my handy dandy perfectly imperfect patterns. And then I'm also bringing in these flower die cuts, the layered flowers. So here we go. These are the pictures that I want to put together. This was my daughter's dance team, and so I've already cut them down to 3x3 squares and then matted them. So I've matted the 4 3x3s there on a sheet of grape cardstock that's 6 3/4 by 6 3/4. And then I've matted I have 6 other 3x3s, and I've went ahead and also matted them on grape cardstock 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And I think this is how I'm going to lay them out. Now I did go ahead and stamp some splatters using the Life's a Hoot card making stamp set with grape ink. I think this is where I'm going to want the splatters. I can always add more later if I think I need to. And then I am using a pattern from the Close to My Heart, Make It From Your Heart Volume 5. And this is pattern 20. I like this pattern, so I think I'm going to use this. And then I have the Life's a Hoot background and texture paper already cut down to 6 1/4 by 10. And then the other sheet here, this one is the Sundance. I've cut this already in half. It is the 6 1/4 by 7. So these are the pieces I'm going to use. Let's see here. I'm going to put this paper up at the top, and then I'm going to bring in this Sundance and line it up there. And then I think I'm going to follow that same pattern on the other side using these triangles. So let me bring in the grape on the other side and then the Sundance. So something looks like I'm out of focus here, out of range, but I will fix that. So I really like that. I think this gives me a good starting point. All right, now I do have out my holographic paper. This is in the sunbeam paper, and my idea is I'd like to make some pom-poms because my daughter's pom-poms are gold. So I have out some flowers here in this thin cut, in the layered flowers thin cut, and I have a smaller one and a larger one, and I'm just gonna take my scissors and I'm gonna cut some slits in here to mimic like a pom-pom. So I'm gonna do each of these, just cutting in the center and then cutting another line to the side of that. And I'm just gonna keep cutting here. And I really want these to look like a pom-pom. Now I realize they're a flower and they're not gonna look identical, but I think you get the idea. So I already made a couple of these off camera, and I added back on the centers of the flower, which I think if I would have left off these centers, then you would have seen it look more like a pom-pom, but I just didn't want that unfinished look where my scissors were going in. So you get the idea. I think it works. So I did use a pop dot and used a pop dot to layer the flowers. And now I have some pieces here. These are just some odds and ends that I had left over from some other collections. So I have these big circle pieces. When I'm making my clusters, I like to start with the largest item first. And I've got my visual triangle going. I've got 3 little places that I'm going to build a cluster. Now I cut out this tag using my tag die, and I just used some black cardstock. And then I'm gonna finish these clusters. I did off camera also stamp some images, and I actually stamped them in my Versamark ink, and then I used black embossing powder just to give it that shine. And so this is the stamp set that I used. If it's still available, I'll link it below. I love this set. I use it all the time. But if you don't have this set, you can use any set with some circle images or whatever fits your layout. So I'm just going to go around here and continue adding circles until I get these clusters just like I want them. So maybe one up here, and then one over here, a small one over here. I think I like that. That looks pretty good. And then I also cut some other things. So I stamped this in my black ink, and then I did fussy cut this camera out and used my Spectrum Noir markers, tri-blend markers to color that up. So I think I'll put that there. And then I think this looks pretty good. So I've got a good start on what I want my clusters to look like. I did cut out or stamped the fun times. This is also embossed, so this will be my title. And I like that the word fun cuts out in separate letters, and then it has the thin cuts to match it. And I thought about coloring in the word times, but I do think I like it with just the black and white. So that looks pretty good. This is another image that I did stamp and I fussy cut. This was from one of the sets that I shared earlier. And this is a really fun set because it says feeling, and then you can stamp in the word of what fits. So I liked that. And then this was Killing It, was a stamp. I cut that out too. Now this one had an arrow on it, and the arrow was pointing the opposite direction. And so I didn't think that that really fit. And so I just snipped off the end of the arrow. And then I have Loving Right Now, and I did stamp that. I just don't think it's popping out though off my page. So I will go back in and ink the edges. So now I have out just some miscellaneous sequins, and I'm going to go around. I have everything glued down now. And so I did add also a little ribbon, a little bow up there to finish off my tag. And now I'm just going to go in sets of 3 and put some of these little gold star sequins, and then there's some black sequins. I mess around with these for quite a while. They keep getting stuck to the bottom of my pen here. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble, and then with my nails. But after I mess around with them for a while, I do finally get it the way I like it. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to go to this next cluster. Oh, there we go. Now I'm going to pick up some other pieces and go around to this next cluster. And I'm basically going to do the same thing in all 3 clusters so that I even them out. Now I did find that some of the pieces were like stuck together, so I did have to separate them. You'll also see that I added a couple little black arrows that I found in my stash to the layout, and I just think that that gave it a little something extra to make it pop there. I didn't go really crazy with my embellishments. I wanted the pom-poms to really be the star, the focal point of this layout. I'd been wanting to scrapbook these pictures for quite a while. This is my daughter's 8th grade year. I call it pom-pom, but I think they're actually called the dance team. And it's really cool. At her school, all the girls, they play on the basketball team, and then they change really quick after their game, and then they do their dance routine during the boys' game. So all of them have their hair up in ponytails because they've all played basketball, and so it's really fun. But this is my daughter's 8th grade year, so I wanted to get these in an album. Next year, she'll be a high schooler, and I don't know if she will continue on the dance team or not. But these were some fun memories, and so I really think that feeling happy, loving right now, fun times, killing it, like all the fun sentiments that I have on this page really captures the moment. So these are fun. So if you like this video, please go ahead and like and subscribe. I'm a beginner YouTuber, so this is just the beginning, but I hope to produce more recordings in the future to share with you. So thank you so much for watching. Let me go ahead and bring in these layouts closer so that you can see the final product up close. All right. Here is the first page. I love the way this turned out. It's all got all that sparkle and shine that I was going for. And then here's the second layout. I love it. All right, thanks so much for watching.